Welcome, parents, to Pre-AP Science. I am Dr. Beatriz Lopez, and I really appreciate having your kid in your class this year with me. As you see, I have two conference periods available for you, 11:24 to 12:12 p.m. and 1:45 to 2:33. Normally, if you send me an email, I will respond by a call or an email back to you at this time. And also, you can call me at the school phone number and leave a message, or you can send me an email at lopezb@ltisdschools.org. This is the room that your kids are going to be entering every single day during first, second, third, fifth, or seventh period. The room organized in different ways. We are going to have an area that is a classroom setup, and another section, as you see on the right side, is going to have lab tables. We have in the classes smart boards and whiteboards, so that way we can do different experiments and exhibits, have the opportunity to the kids to write on the board. And also, we have a very special way that we can arrange the chairs so they can work in teams. It's another perspective of the classroom. Here you can have the perspective from the lab to the area of the class, to one of the entrance. And this is the area where the kids are going to exit. This is the area that I am located. That's where my desk is. About me, so you can learn about a little bit about Dr. Lopez or Dr. B. That's another way that my colleagues and my kids call me. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, and I lived there for 34 years. I have a biology degree from the University of Puerto Rico Maya West Campus. That in 1996, once I finished my bachelor, I decided to continue my education in curriculum teaching of science, and I finished it in 1999. And then later on, I started my doctoral degree. Then, since I was doing my master, I was teaching in high school level biology, chemistry, and research, and I did for 5 years in a private school. Then I moved to middle school in a public school area, and I taught there for several years. And then I decided to move to Texas, where I complete the research for my dissertation. Before I finished my dissertation in 2012, I started my own company, so I'm an entrepreneur during my free time. And I share that with the kids a lot. So make them fulfill the dreams that they have. This year is going to be super exciting for them because it's the first year they're going to be exposed to life science. As you know, our school year is divided in quarters. So the first quarter, we always review nature of science and science safety. That will happen for the first 2 weeks of school. And they're going to learn about new equipment they're going to be using, since the microscope all the way to dissecting kits, which they are very excited to dissect. Then, imagine or not, they do organic chemistry. Organic chemistry for us was not until college level. So because we're talking about life science, they're going to learn about organic compounds, how to identify them. The third unit is going to be functions and structures of the cell. And in this case, they're going to learn about the structures, and they're going to compare it to the human body. And we're going to be able to design some slides, and they can prepare by their own. The second 9 weeks is the one that they love the most, because we talk about the body. Each one of the body systems, we talk in detail. We ask them to learn. We want them to learn the body parts, the use, the function, and that will help them because they are adolescents to understand their bodies and how they develop. During the third 9 weeks, genetics, super excited for them because they learn about the different, how characteristics can be inherited, how genetic variation happen, mutations. And once we develop from the micro to the macro, we're going to start to talk about plants and how the plants behave and the chemical reactions that happen. Already they know about photosynthesis and they know how to learn and identify the organic compounds. So after that, they learn about how all those organisms get together in the environment. By the fourth week, all the elements in nature that interact, we talk about the factors that can impact the environment. And then at the end of the year, we talk about the space and how space is important for the human to conquer, and we identify all the things that we as humans will need to improve to be able to survive on space. This is the list of materials that the kids will have in the class. We use 2 journals or 2 notebooks through the whole year. Using pencils is important for science because that way, especially for lab reports, they can erase, fix, or improve their lab, their journal. Erasers, a good eraser is always good. A calculator, fine for me if they use their phones. We need to teach the kids that phones are more than for sending text messages or talking to their friends. Color pencils, diagrams, charts, graphs will help a lot. And dear hearts, this is not a requirement, it's something that we like to collect through the school year. Having dear hearts will help us out for the dissection unit, especially for the cardiovascular system, so that way we can compare the hearts of the deers to the human heart. They identify their characteristics, and obviously the kids get super excited for dissection. Also, we require a textbook. The textbook is provided by the school. We are lucky this year that we receive copies for each one of the kids. The textbook is a consumable and it's also available online. It's very interactive. You have sections online that will encourage the kids to go and visit. They can see the book online, they can see videos. The book can read for them online if they access it. And it's a very good tool for them to review also in case that they forget about the book. How do we grade things in this class? Well, we have a district grading policy and it's basically divided in 2 sections. 60% for exams, projects, and lab reports, and 40% is going to be for daily work and homework. And as you know, there's a late policy that we don't accept the work after 4. That will be late for the date that is due. And also, if the kids doesn't do their work, they will be assigned to homework call. So that way they can do their work and they will learn a lesson not to forget their homework or lab report. And they will be penalized with a 70. That means that they lose 30% of the grade. So they need to work very, very hard to make sure that they reach that 70 because it's going to be graded with the same rigor as everybody else that turned it on time. It is important to have the science class journal every day with them because that way they can take notes on the class, the labs, and design different things that are needed, especially take their notes because at the end of the year, the science journal becomes the personal science book and they can keep it for A grade, which they have the STAR test. In pre-AP, life science is required to develop research projects. During the year, for each one of the units, we are going to be developing a research project. It can be individually or it can be in teams, according to the topics that we are discussing. This year, they already have a chance to develop one research project about something that they feel passionate for and relate that to science. Because we do research together or we research independently, for me it's very important in my class we create a safe environment. And I think, and my philosophy of as a teacher, the way that we can create a safe environment if when we set up our expectations together. Since the first week of school, we discussed the core values of the school and we identify as a class and as individuals what the core values means for us and how we're going to apply them in our class. So each one of the classes independently have a discussion with the same core values and we have an agreement about how we're going to work. And have been very good so far since day number 1. It is very important to be early to class, and we apply in the science class the policy for tardies that goes from a warning all the way to ISS. But as the school policy said, every 9 weeks we start over. So it is important that you check with your kids that they come in early to class so they accomplish the goals. Bring your own device. As a school, we have the privilege that the kids can bring the devices into the building and we take advantage of that. So as a class, we develop the policy of how to use those devices in the science class. They develop the policy, they identify the consequences, and also they ask if they can have the electronic device at the top of the desk facing them. So that way, in case they receive a message from you, they will ask me, can I pick up the message from my parents? They need me, or I need to send a message to my parents because I need to stay after school. And we make the agreement and they are very happy for it. I have a class website in which you can find all the documents and homeworks that we're having in class. It is important for you to check because sometimes as parents you can have homework from me. Yes, it's teamwork. Sometimes I will ask you, tell me about your kids. And by the way, that is the first homework that you as parents are going to do. And your kids are going to ask you, Mom, Dad, you need to write something about me to Dr. B so they can know me from your perspective. So, parents, you had homework. Also, I will attach there important movies that we watch in class if the system allow me to do it. Most of the time I can do it in case your kid is absent. Also, we have a Schoology in which you can look up documents and extensions of the class to help your kid to be successful. Subscriptions. I suggest the kids to have a subscription on a science dictionary, a science magazine online. They are free. So that way they can keep up to date in science and times that they don't understand a concept. They can see videos, they can see illustrations, they can see another perspective of that concept. Also, I suggest for you and the kids to have a Schoology available to check their progress in class to see what is coming up and if they missed something when they were absent in class. Tutorials. I offer tutorials in my class in the mornings from 8:15 to 8:45 to support them with homework if they don't understand a concept, if they were absent, if they need a document. In that case, I will guide them where to print them from my website. Also, during go time, they can come with a pass to catch up in work or to finish a lab. Also, that will help. And if not, after school, we have a program in which they can assist from Monday to Thursday. Every single day, there's a different academic class present in the computer lab, and it's going to be a teacher that can be 6, 7, or 8 grader. And it will help them out to do their homework. An advantage of it, sometimes we have students from the high school that come and help the kids with homework. I have two conference periods during the day. One is from 11:24 to 12:12, which is dedicated to our PLC twice a week. That is a time that all the academic areas sit down together to talk about how we're doing, how the kids are doing, how we can help them to improve in every single class. This is the time also I dedicate to you parents to answer the emails, answer phone calls, so you can reach me. And if by any chance you have any questions, I always answer emails very fast. You can always contact me via email lopezb@ltisdschools.org and 2512-533-5642. Looking forward to see you in Curriculum Night on Wednesday, and have a wonderful day.